Phase 1. The invisible timer. You sit in a heavily air-conditioned title office, staring at a stack of legal documents so thick it looks like a phone book. The air smells like cheap laser printer toner. You grip a heavy blue pen and sign your name for the 42nd time. The real estate agent across the table checks her gold watch, smiles, and slides a pair of brass keys across the mahogany. She just made a 3% commission and she is thrilled. You just paid $250,000 for a 1,400 square foot 3-bedroom house. It has a tiny, uneven patch of grass, faded vinyl siding, and a cramped kitchen with laminate countertops. She leans in and delivers the exact script she uses on everyone. Congratulations, this is a perfect starter home. In 5 years, you'll build up enough equity to finally buy your forever home. You smile back, you feel proud, you feel like you finally made it. You have no idea you just absorbed the most perfectly engineered financial lie in American history. On a brisk Tuesday morning, you pull your rented moving truck into the driveway. Right next door, your new neighbor, Dave, is backing a truck into the driveway of the exact same model. You're the same age. You make the exact same middle management salary. You both just signed the exact same 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. You both start the exact same timer on the exact same day, but one of you will follow the standard American script and stay trapped on a treadmill of debt forever. The other will use a hidden mathematical glitch to walk away with $1.5 million in cold, hard cash. And the gap between your two lives will start with a single, excruciatingly difficult decision. Phase 2. The upgrade virus. 5 years pass. The national housing market has been on an absolute tear. You and Dave both check your quarterly statements. Thanks to local appreciation and 5 years of mortgage payments, you each have roughly $75,000 in raw equity sitting trapped inside your drywall. This is exactly when the trap is designed to spring. Dave catches the upgrade virus. It starts innocently enough. He spends his nights in bed, face glowing in the blue light of the Zillow app, scrolling through luxury listings. At the neighborhood 4th of July block party, he complains about his single bathroom. He looks at his $75,000 in equity, and he doesn't see a financial safety net. He sees a down payment. He wants the 3,000 square foot McMansion in the gated community on the affluent side of town. A week later, a slick for sale sign pops up in his yard. And honestly, you almost cave. You sit in your cramped driveway that night in your depreciated sedan. You look at your faded vinyl siding. You open Zillow on your own phone. The temptation is suffocating. You have the exact same $75,000. You could easily afford the bigger mortgage. You hover your thumb over the contact agent button. You feel like you're falling behind. You feel like a failure, but you do the math, and the math stops you cold. You watch Dave's transaction unfold, and it is a financial bloodbath. Dave sells his house for $325,000. He feels like a genius, but immediately he pays 6% in realtor fees. That is $19,500 vanishing into thin air, handed to two agents who essentially filled out a PDF and opened a door. He pays another $5,000 in title insurance, transfer taxes, and closing costs. Almost a third of Dave's hard-earned 5-year equity is utterly vaporized just for the privilege of leaving his current address. He takes the bleeding remainder and confidently signs a brand new 30-year mortgage for a $600,000 house. But interest rates have ticked up a full percent. Dave thinks he is building serious generational wealth because his new house has a grand brick entryway. But structurally, he just committed the deadliest mistake in middle-class finance. He reset the amortization clock. Banks front-load mortgages with interest. By starting a brand new 30-year loan, nearly 80% of Dave's massive new monthly payment is now going straight into the bank's profit margin. He is barely touching the principal. He is renting money, and his rent just quadrupled. You lock your phone screen, you walk inside your 1,400 square foot house. You decide to stay, you go to Home Depot, buy 2 gallons of paint, and spend the weekend painting your outdated kitchen cabinets yourself. You keep your incredibly low interest rate. Most importantly, you keep your $1,400 monthly payment. Phase 3, the silent siphon. It is year 10. You are invited to Dave's new house for a summer barbecue. His property looks incredible. He has a pristine 3-car garage. You walk inside and his 20-foot vaulted ceilings echo with the clinking of expensive beer bottles. But when you get Dave alone on the patio, he doesn't look successful. He looks exhausted. He has dark circles under his eyes. What the Instagram photos don't show is the silent siphon bleeding him dry. The mortgage was just the cover charge to enter the club. The moment Dave moved, his local property taxes doubled. His summer air conditioning bills are pushing $400 a month because he is paying to cool vast, empty pockets of air in guest rooms nobody sleeps in. He is bleeding $300 a month in mandatory HOA fees just to keep the neighborhood gate functional. Worse, he had to fill the massive house. He financed a $4,000 leather sectional on a 0% introductory credit card that quietly jumped to 24% interest when he missed a single payment. Your old mortgage is locked in absolute concrete at $1,400 a month. Dave's new housing expense, factoring in taxes, insurance, HOA, and the bloated interest, is a staggering $4,100 a month. Dave is burning an extra $2,700 every single month just to exist inside a larger box. You do not spend that difference. You do not buy a luxury SUV. You open a brokerage app and you quietly, ruthlessly automate that $2,700 into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. On the first of every month, the money vanishes from your checking account and buys shares of the 500 largest companies in America. To the outside world, you look poor. Your coworkers secretly whisper that you must be drowning in hidden debt since you never upgraded your life. You let them whisper, because what happens next changes the trajectory of both your lives forever. Phase 4, the brutal twist. It is year 15. A severe economic recession hits the U.S. The daily news cycle is pure panic. A massive housing correction wipes out property values across the state. Then, the corporate layoffs begin. On a random Thursday afternoon, the ominous calendar invites from HR start rolling out. Dave is in a state of sheer terror. His $4,100 monthly payment is no longer a status symbol. It is a heavy cast iron trap. Because he bought at the top of the market and reset his amortization clock, he has barely paid down any principal. The market crash means he is now underwater. His house is worth less than the $550,000 he still owes the bank. He can't sell without bringing $50,000 in cash to the closing table, cash he doesn't have. He is an absolute hostage. He requires a massive corporate salary just to keep the foreclosure notices away. He pops antacids like candy. He tolerates a highly toxic manager. He is one bad performance review away from total ruin. Then you get called into the exact same HR office. Your manager nervously tells you that company-wide pay cuts are going into effect. You are losing 20% of your salary. You just nod. You don't even sweat. Why? Because you are experiencing the most powerful, closely guarded phenomenon in personal finance, the amortization flip. You are exactly 15 years into your 30-year loan. You crossed the mathematical midpoint. The systemic math has entirely inverted in your favor. Because you crushed the front-loaded interest phase a decade ago, almost every single dollar of your $1,400 payment is now attacking the principal balance directly. It acts as a forced, high-yield savings account. Your fixed housing cost is an absolute joke compared to your income. Even with a 20% pay cut, you could cover your mortgage working as a shift manager at a hardware store. While Dave is terrified of losing his house, you sleep a solid 8 hours every single night. You hold all the leverage. You have successfully weaponized your incredibly low overhead to buy the ultimate luxury, invincibility. Phase 5, the final reveal. It is year 20. You sit down at your small kitchen table, the exact same scratched wooden table you bought 2 decades ago. You open your laptop and log into your mortgage servicer's portal. You verify your routing number and initiate the final definitive transfer. The screen loads for 3 agonizing seconds. The page refreshes. The balance reads $0. You own it. You own the dirt, the drywall, the plumbing, and the roof. No bank and no layoff can ever take this shelter away from you. Your monthly housing expense drops to just your basic property taxes and insurance. You are essentially living for free. But a paid-off house is not the real victory. Let's reveal the final brutal math of your absolute refusal to play the upgrade game. You open your brokerage app, that $2,700 a month, the exact cash difference between Dave's bloated lifestyle and your modest one, the money you unemotionally pushed into the S&P 500 through recessions, market crashes, and bull runs. Thanks to the relentless, unstoppable violence of compound interest, that specific account has exploded. You are staring at a balance of over $1.5 million in completely liquid cash. You are not just debt-free, you are entirely financially independent. You can officially retire tomorrow morning. You can walk right into your boss's office, hand in your plastic security badge, and never sit in miserable rush hour traffic again. You look out your front window. Dave is pulling into his driveway across town. He looks 10 years older than he actually is. His hair is graying. He is perpetually exhausted. He is only halfway through his second reset 30-year mortgage. He still owes over $400,000 to the bank. He is staring down another 15 agonizing years of corporate servitude just to keep his massive living room heated in the winter. Starter home is a psychological trap. It is a brilliant, vicious marketing phrase designed to make you feel inadequate, to ensure you eventually move, and to guarantee you never stop paying front-loaded interest. 20 years ago, you and Dave had the exact same income, the exact same opportunity, and the exact same choice. Today, Dave owns a bigger house. You own your time. He bought a bigger cage. You bought the key.